welcome to Chica's Kitchen! Woo! First one, round of applause! After begging for, I kid you not, days, the Pizzaplex and, of course, Fazbear Entertainment finally let me have my own cooking show. It was a long road coming, but we finally made it. The only problem is, they won't let me serve it to guests. I believe they called it a liability risk. So instead, since we have no actual human employees, we are going to be making it for Gregory. Gregory has in fact been living in the Pizzaplex with us. And since he's a growing boy and a picky boy at that, we're going to be making him some dinner tonight. From our official Freddy Fazbear cookbook. Not sponsored. So to commemorate my dear friend Bonnie, rest in peace, my friend, we are going to be making meatball subs from his portion of the book. Woo! They look so delicious. Plus, I figure, Gregory being as picky as he is, and he never stops eating pizza, this is the next best thing. It's got tomato sauce, it's got meat, it's got bread. It's the same thing, right? Yeah. Since I don't have a book holder by any means. Here. You hold it, Roxy. So to get started, what we need to do is first take off our gloves and wash our hands. Next up, what we'll need is an apron. It's gonna get messy. Look, it's got kitty cats on it. It's so cute. What I added that was not on the book is I'm making my own potato chips. It's a risk. I've never done it, but we're gonna try it today, and it's gonna turn out great. That's what I have to keep telling myself. They're currently drying right here. We'll get to them in a second, but right now we're going to start with the meatballs. What you're going to need for this recipe, and granted I am doing my own twist on this because some of us don't like spicy stuff, Gregory. Spices wise, it's what we have on hand. There were also some stuff that did not get translated well, so some stuff has been substituted or replaced. So you're going to need ground beef. I'm using just like a good portion of it to make as many meatballs as possible. Seasonings we're going to be using is basil as well as Italian blend. Italian blend is not in the recipe, but it's my own little fixture of it. You're also going to need garlic. This is where the misunderstanding came place. You can use whatever you wish. I'm going to be using shallots, but the recipe book calls for scallions. Completely mistook that. You can use whatever cheese you want, but I'm using Swiss because Gregory likes Swiss. I like Swiss. You can't go wrong with Swiss. You're also going to need tomato paste, hoagie breads, or just any type of bread that would go for a sub sandwich. You're also going to need oil to be able to fry up the meat as well as the potatoes if you decide to do the potatoes. And that's generally about it. And as we go along, I will add more info if there is more info. So let's get started. What we're going to do is we're going to add basil and Italian seasoning to it. A generous amount. I personally love Italian seasoning more than I do basil. We're running a little low on basil, so. Then we're going to mix it together. If you don't want to get your hands messy, then tough duties, because this is going to be a messy recipe anyway. You can also add some salt and pepper. I might actually do that real quick. You're going to take a frying pan and you're going to fill it up with some oil of whatever it calls for. Olive oil. Gregory can't have olive oil, unfortunately. So we're just going to be using regular vegetable oil, or canola oil works as well. So you're gonna fill that up just a little generous amount. I don't think you need too much. It doesn't really say how much. So we're gonna call it as we see it. Now we're going to be making our meatballs. So we'll take a good portion. I don't want them to be like too big because the hoagies aren't really all that big. They're also going to be shrinking in size, so I don't want to make them too small either. So I'd probably say about like 1.5 inches in length, in diameter, whatever you want to call it. I feel like when I do this method, I'm like that one game cooking mama. But hey, maybe we all should learn a few things from video games. So I've moved the station over to here. We're gonna start out with this many meatballs. I think there's just like 11 in there right now. We still got quite a bit. I might have overdone it, but we'll see from there. It says to start it out at medium heat. While that is going, I will also be preparing the hoagies to be toasted in the oven. I have the oven at 400 right now. I'll keep an eye on when they get toasty and not burn them. We don't want to burn them. While that is going, I will also start a pot of oil ready for the chips to be made. First batch is already starting to cook. I'm keeping an eye on the hoagies. They're doing pretty good so far. I might end up taking them out here soon, just so they don't burn. While the meat is cooking, because it looks like the meatballs are going to take the longest, I'm going to attempt the chips. Can you tell I'm nervous? Okay. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I don't want to add too much in. That's a thick one. He might take longer. Okay, I have the chips being made. I'm so scared. They are currently cooking. I'm making chips, guys. I'm making meatballs. Gregory is going to love this. Yo! I made chips! High five me. Oh! Yay! I'm gonna go ahead and chop up my garlic and my shallot. Handle knife with care, kids. Out. I'm going to take the remaining chips out. Now in the same saucepan that we did the meatballs, we're going to add the shallots and the garlic. Once they've sauteed enough, we'll now add the tomato paste.
It was at this moment that he knew.
So I've made a grave error. It wasn't tomato paste. It was tomato puree. So we're gonna attempt to make a tomato paste by adding water. I never said I was good at this. I just begged him to give me a show. Maybe if I add diced tomatoes. I mean, that's kind of a puree, right? Right? Okay, so I'm gonna add a bit of seasoning, salt and pepper. Some more of the Italian seasoning. And just a little bit of basil too. Now it says to add the meatballs. It's messy, but now it says to let it simmer, so I'm gonna let it simmer. We're going to prepare our sandwiches. So the meatballs are done. What we're going to do is we're going to place them on the sandwich. Then we're going to add our Swiss cheese. Then we're going to place it back in the oven for just a few seconds or so, or until the cheese is melted. So they should be ready by now. All the cheese is melted. It looks so good. Make sure you clean up and turn off everything that you don't use at this point. Grab yourself a plate. I'm gonna pick one of these. And I'm gonna try it out myself. Get myself a top bun. And of course, some chips. Now that everything is ready, let's try it. So first off, I've already tried the chips. They're perfect. I love them. They turned out amazing for my first time making chips. Perfect. All right. This one's a little hot, so. It turned out better than I expected it to. When I was trying the paste, I was not too excited with the fact of how tomatoey it was, but with the cheese, it really helps taper it down. But I do think in the future, definitely go for puree and not paste, and that will definitely be a lot better. But for what this is, it is perfectly edible. It is amazing. And I think it's fantastic. It is not the same exact recipe as in the book, but regardless, it is still fantastic, and I love it. I'm going to continue eating this, as well as get the other one ready for Gregory. I think he's really going to enjoy it. And thank you so much for coming to the first Chica's Kitchen. Hopefully we'll make some more upcoming. I've got a few bookmarks, like the pulled pork quesadillas, and a few desserts and drinks as well. So please like, subscribe, follow my other social media, and that will keep you in tune for everything upcoming, either cosplay, cooking, whatever it may be. But thank you so much for joining today. Thank you for coming down my avenue. I really enjoyed it. Bye! Why does it sound like a cooking show? I'm a cosplayer. Why am I cooking now? Legit though, this is actually pretty good. No, don't get dirty.
My hair?
Roxy, no. It definitely needs some tweaking, but it's not bad. I think it just needs more seasoning, especially like an earthiness to the sauce. I definitely fucked up by getting paste instead of puree. There were so many things I fucked up on today, but you know what? We're learning. We're here. We're quick. Yeah. I'm gonna eat it.